Flosstube number 21, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. I do not have my usual menagerie in here with me today, and we'll get to why. First, I'd like to start off by saying welcome. Welcome to everyone, old, new, returning subscriber, new subscribers, somebody just checking me out. Hey, you're all welcome in my craft room. And I thank you for taking time out of your day to listen to me ramble. Anyway, I don't have any finishes. I do have some progress. I do have some haul because of Valentine's Day. I do have a life update. I haven't been doing any sewing, but there's a reason why, and we'll get to that. And I have a garden update, so I guess we'll go ahead and start with life. Now, I said I do not have my usual menagerie in here with me today, and that is because I have somebody new in here with me today. Hey everybody, meet Cheeto. Hey baby. Hi baby. For those of you who have not been here before, I'll give you the background on Cheeto. A few weeks ago, we had a freeze, and this little orange and white cat showed up on our back porch. He was a stray. He was, probably halfway to feral, but he was a stray. So what we did, because we love animals, we're not going to let anybody suffer, we're not going to let anybody freeze, none of that. So what we did was we set up a sheltered area in a corner of our back porch and put a box with some old towels in it for him to kind of stay warm. Okay. I'm sorry. The trees here are all in bloom, and my allergies are just saying no. So I apologize ahead of time. But anyway, he showed up. He stayed up until the weather got warm again. So he stayed for, 3 or 4 days. Once the weather got warm again, he disappeared. And we just thought, okay, well, we sheltered him during the cold, and now he's gone on to do whatever he's doing. Well, 5 days passed, and then all of a sudden one morning, on that 5th day, I got up, and my laundry room is in the garage. So I actually have to go out into the garage to get to the laundry. Hi, baby. Hi. But I went out to do the laundry, opened up the garage doors, and there he was. My little orange person. He was out there. He was meowing and meowing and meowing, and he's like, right now he's desperate for attention. But he was out there. So immediately gave him food and water. We hadn't picked up his little corner. He still had his food dish and water dish, so I filled them for him. And he settled in. Well, while I was doing laundry, of course, he was coming and going through the garage with me. He moved into the garage. He decided, oh, this is nice in here. We still had the plants with the heat lamp set up in there, so it was warm in there. And he said, hey, all right, I'm moving in. So he stayed in the garage for maybe a couple weeks. Well, hi, you want up in my lap? I'm not sure. You're not sure. Would you like up here with me? Is that a no? Are you going to lay there? And that's okay? We still getting used to each other. But anyway, so he stayed out in the garage for a couple of weeks. Well, it got to the point where he was, meowing and screaming at the door for us to come out and play with him. He would let us love on him. He would love on us. And so we finally decided, okay, now we'll keep him. Obviously, we love animals. But before we could bring him into the house, we had to vet him. So it was an epic adventure, but we got him into a carrier and we took him to the vet, and the vet, vetted him, gave him a clean bill of health, clipped his nails for us. That was a big one. He went ahead and gave him flea drops, and he also fixed him, neutered him. He's in my lap right now, and he's kneading on my leg. I'm sorry. I'm just glad they clipped his nails. But anyway, they even gave him flea drops. Of course, the poor baby's still dirty because, of course, after being neutered, you can't bathe them for 14 days, which is fine because that's giving us 14 days for him to get used to us, or more used to us, I should say. But anyway, we brought him inside, and what we've done is locked him in my sewing room. And that is why I've not been able to sew, because I have a little person in my sewing room. But he is happily sitting in my lap right now, which is huge progress. This is the first time he's been in my lap, but he's perfectly content with it. Which I've been telling my husband he's probably going to be a lap cat once we've got him fully integrated into the household. But anyway, so we brought him inside and we've set him up in my sewing room. Of course, we already had a cat bed in here. We have the dog bed in here, and we already have a litter box in here. But we went ahead and brought food and water bowls in here for him. And this is where he's been recovering. He doesn't like being isolated. He wants to be with us. So this has been really hard because he'll cry at the door, and then of course I feel horrible and guilty. And yeah, so I haven't gotten a lot done because I've been taking care of Mr. Needy. But anyway, he is recovering nicely. The poor baby's still dirty. He will have to have a bath. But he is completely used to us. Every once in a while we're in here loving on him and playing with him, he will kind of lash out a little bit, like, wait. But then he'll immediately, oh, I'm so sorry, and come back and love on us some more. He's still getting used to it. I think the poor baby's starved for affection. And sometimes it's kind of like he gets hit with this is too good to be true thing. But anyway, we have begun introducing him to the others. Jelly Bean walked in here like it was cool and said, hey, we're friends. Because according to Jelly Bean, everybody is his friend. Jelly Bean is very friendly. He's very social and he's very friendly and he is not shy. So according to Jelly Bean, they're already friends. Now, the only thing is Jelly Bean is very food aggressive. And this one is very food aggressive. I'm sure this one is just from being out in the wild for so long. So we have to keep them separated when there is food in the bowls. Yeah, that's not a thing. Because, that's going to be ugly. But otherwise, Jelly Bean and he have hit it off and they're just fine. Hecate is the most OCD cat on the planet. Hecate is all about being clean. Hecate is the cleanest creature on the planet. Hecate spends a good part of her day cleaning herself. And so help her God, everyone who touches her, she immediately has to clean herself for another half hour. So Hecate is the most OCD cat on the planet. And this little dirty boy, she's not having it. Now, she's not been aggressive with him. She just kind of came in and sniffed at him and said, ew, and walked out. Hecate knows she's in charge here. Okay, there is no insecurity on her part. She is in charge. She is the goddess. Okay, so she's not worried about it. Snickers. And this was the shocker. My sweet-tempered little Snickers does nothing but sit at the crack under the door and hiss and growl at this baby. Snickers is going to take some time. And we're not sure if it's just that he is, jealous or what, but Snickers is going to take a little time. Artemis is just a nosy dog. There's no other way to put it. She wants to shove her nose up his butt and sniff all over him, and he's just like, oh my God, why? And so that's going to take a hot minute, but we're getting there. He has been in my lap this whole time and just calm and purring and getting pet. Yeah, he's going to be a big old lap cat. I knew it. But anyway, so we've gotten the baby taken care of. He has a clean bill of health. What I've been trying to do is, since I can't give him a bath, but he is so filthy, I've been bringing a warm, wet dish rag in here and just kind of wiping down his coat in the evenings when he starts getting sleepy after, supper. And it's helping, but I mean, he's going to need an actual bath. But at least this is helping. So, because, obviously he had multiple wounds on him where it looked like maybe he'd gotten into fights with other animals or something. Like he has a big wound on the base of his tail. It's on his tail, not his back, but it's a big bite. And he had another one on his back leg. So I've been trying to keep him as clean as I can just because of the open wounds. But anyway, he is transitioning nicely. He's actually a very sweet, loving boy. So I think it'll work out fine. But anyway, so that's why it's just me and Cheeto in here today. Nobody else. Artemis is outside. The weather's nice. It's in the mid-70s, and so she's outside just loving it. Hecate, it's nap time, okay? And everybody can just leave her alone because it's nap time. And the other two boys are, the last time I saw Snickers, he was just lounging on my dresser, watching the world like what? And Jelly Bean's prowling. But anyway, that's what's going on with the life update. Little Cheeto is settling in. He actually, now my husband gets up super early in the morning, and I wake up when he does, but I don't necessarily get out of bed. I kind of lay there and love on the kitties and whatnot and take my time before getting up. But this morning, usually in the morning, what he does is he gives, he lets Artemis out to do her thing, and then he gives her breakfast, and then he comes and spends a little time in here with Cheeto, feeds him, gives him breakfast, loves on him a little bit. Well, apparently this morning he came in and Cheeto shot out the door and was all over the house. Which, there were no fights. Everybody was fine. But obviously, until he's healed, we can't let him jump or run or anything like that. So that's why we are keeping him in this one small area. And my husband was just afraid to pick him up. He wouldn't pick him up. He's like, he's going to tear me a new one. And I said, no, he'll let you pick him up. It's okay. He'll let you. I just picked him up and brought him back in here. So, and he's like, I didn't think he'd let us do that. I said, yes, he's gotten used to us now. He's okay. But anyway, so he's getting braver and he's feeling better. So that's good. But anyway, that's it with life. We're still working on the Cheeto. As far as the vet can tell, he says he is probably between 1.5 to 2 years old. So he's just a little bit over, Jelly Bean and Snickers age. He's between them and Hecate, because Jelly Bean and Snickers are just now a year old. So he's not far off from them. And Hecate will be 4 this year. So She's in charge. And don't anybody forget it. But anyway, on to cross stitch. Cross stitch. As I said, I have no finishes. I've had my hands pretty full with this. But I do have some progress. I have been able to sit down and stitch some. The first one I have is my 4 Element Stitch Along by Satsuma Street. I have only done a little bit of it. Honestly, I didn't have a whole lot of time, and you can see my thread there. What I've started doing is filling in this dark blue. And all of this area will be the dark blue, and some of this. So I'm trying to get that dark blue filled in. Yes, I'm color completing. I color complete everything. That's the only progress I've done, is that dark blue. I have done this area, and I've started on this area here. But I didn't get a lot done. Mostly because of Mr. Demanding, who is currently in my lap and quite cozy. So that's all I've got done on Satsuma Street. Now, that being said, my next one that I worked on was the Riolis kit that I got for Christmas, the Maine Coon. That one actually got quite a bit done. When you saw it last time, all I had done were the eyes. But I have since, and I didn't bring my board over here, and I'm trapped, so we'll use this. I have since filled in all of the white. I have completely finished the white. I worked on that for 2 days. I got a lot done on that one. Oh, and I don't think I mentioned it. The Satsuma Street 4 Elements. I am stitching on 14 count black Aida, just plain black, nothing fancy, and DMC floss. And this one, I'm just using the materials that came in the kit, which I believe, if I'm not mistaken, this is a 10 or 11 count Aida. And the yarn, the wool, I guess acrylic wool yarn or whatever, that's what I'm using for that one. But I've got a lot done on that one. I'm very pleased with my progress on it. And the last one I worked on was, you're cozy, huh? My Mill Hill. I've been working on my Mill Hill. I have finished out this tree. Now I've started the beading, but I stopped with the beading because it was at night and I was using dark brown on a black perforated paper and it just wasn't working for my eyeballs. So I had to stop with the beading, take a break from that, but I have filled in all of the tree. I've started beading around it, and then I have filled in these 2 windows, and I've started working on the magenta in the sky. That's what I've gotten done. So I actually made quite a bit of progress on that one as well. Oh, and I also filled in the green of the trees here and here, although it's hard to see. There we go. So I think what I'll do is when I'm working on it during the day, I'll go back to the beading of the dark brown. And when I'm working on it in the evening, we're going to do the burgundy. It's just easier on my eyes. I have not started anything new, obviously, because it's me. But I am actually considering starting another project. It's a small one though, and you're about to see it because we're going to talk about, well, haul. It's gifts, not haul. I didn't order anything. I didn't buy anything. This was my gift from my husband for Valentine's Day. But first, I need a drink. And I never drink Coke. I don't drink sodas. But with all the drainage and sinuses from the allergies, I needed something. So anyway, you know what? I take that back. I did buy one thing. Only one. I have signed up for the Femurs and Fungi Stitch Along from Fine Frog Stitching. I did sign up for that. Because it's the whole dark academia, like artifact thing. And I think it'll look good on the wall with my rare horror flies. So I did pre-order that. So I need to order fabric for it now. Of course I do. But I also want to order fabric for my Animal Crossing cross stitch. So I'll just order those at the same time. Valentine's Day. As you can see, he went shopping. And he chose a good place. The first thing he got me was a pattern by Glendon Place. Now, I've changed perspective. The window is over there, so it's no longer behind me. Because I know some of y'all in the comments last time said that was better. But now we have the glare. But that's okay. That's okay. We can get around it, right? We can handle it. But he got me Glendon Place. And it's the little pirate ship. The skeleton pirate ship. And I think it's adorable. I love it. I love it. I've never seen it before, but I love it. He got me that one, which I think is just too cool. And it comes with these little buttons, little skulls and things. So that's really cool. The Poltergeist Pirates. And of course, you know, as you can see, they go on the ship. So it came with the button pack. He got me by the Nutmeg Needle. He got me Graveyard Goblins, which is cute. And really, he said specifically, my daughter, twisted little soul that she is, she's mine. She has this thing for tombstones. And she's got a little stuffed tombstone. Yes, I know. I think we got it at Barnes & Noble. But she has a little stuffed tombstone. And then on top of that, she has another little cross-stitched tombstone that I did for her, you know, a few years ago. But I think he specifically got this so I could stitch it for her because she thinks it's so cool. But he got me that one. He got me Mirabilia, the Gypsy Mermaid. I have never done a Mirabilia before. As you know, I really don't like to do people, but I think this one will be okay. It's not the cartoony little characters like in my Treasure Island one. And I know why he picked it. She has red hair. And he calls me his mermaid. So I'm sure that's why he picked it. It's a mermaid with red hair. We met on the beach. We had our first date on the beach. He proposed to me on the beach, and we actually got married on the beach. So he refers to me as his mermaid. The next one he got me was another Mirabilia, and it is the Halloween fairy, but it's in a plastic baggie, so let me take it out so that we don't have to deal with the glare. But it's the Halloween fairy, and I think she's very cute. I like her. Honestly, I've never looked into Mirabilias before. No real reason, I just haven't. But I'll stitch those. I like them, they're pretty. The next one he got me was just a small one. It's Homespun Collectibles, and it's just a little witch and a ghost. And I thought that was cute. He also got me a beautiful button to put on a project. He said, I don't know what you're stitching that this would go with, but I thought it was really pretty. And it is, and I will find something, trust me. Yes, I will. And then he also got me some counting pens, and they're kitties. He said he's particularly like this one because it's my little Hecate. So he got me those. He thought I might be able to use those with the bigger projects he bought me. But that's what he got there. And then he got me one other thing. He went on Forbidden Fiber and bought me the new mystery kit. And it was I Love Boo. And I think this bag is the most adorable. I love it. This bag just makes me happy. It is so cute. And of course it's got the little beads on the zipper. But I love the little ghost on this bag. He's adorable. He is cute. I love it. And of course inside it has everything you need to do the project. We have a cute little needle minder. It says my boo with a little conversation heart on it. We have 1/8 of a yard of Babbling Brook, which is a light blue, and that's a good representation of the color. So we have 1/8 of a yard of that. And then we have the Floss, and it's a gorgeous color palette. We have Fruit Punch. We have Stormy Skies. We have Coal, which I really like that color. We have Desire, which is very pretty. We have Being Tested Makes You Stronger, which is a mouthful, but still pretty. It is a very, very, very pale pink. We have Chili Pepper. And then we have Pale Thistle. Those are the colors of Floss, which will be very pretty on that fabric. And then we have the pattern. I Love Boo. And this is the one that I was saying I'm kind of tempted to start now. And it's a small one. It's not very big. But I think it's very cute. But I absolutely love the bag. So that is what he got me for Valentine's Day. Now, I have ordered a book, but it's not here yet. Because of course it's not. And then he also got me some candy, but he'll help me eat that later. Are you cozy? You can just sit like this all day long, huh? Just sit in Mama's lap. And he's purring. He just purring. You're going to be a little lap kitty, aren't you? A little lap kitty. Yes. I know, Mama's lap ain't very big, is it? And my leg's asleep. Yay! I did sit down and bind all of my felt embroidery project patterns into a book so that I can keep them together. But that's it for cross stitch. I am still working through my check sheet for February. I am behind, but I have an excuse. My hands have been full. So now on to sewing. As I said, with this little guy living in my sewing room, I have not been able to sew much. That being said, I did get some fabric. Now I'm going to do a start along, I think, with Rocks, Moss, and Floss for Animal Crossing. My Animal Crossing Polly Pocket pattern. I just have to kit it up. But in true me fashion, I was at the fabric store and they had some remnants. This was one of them for Animal Crossing, and this was the other. And so these are going to be a project bag for my Animal Crossing project, because that's how it goes. Okay, you got to be coordinated. So I got those. I have managed to cut some fabric, just not sewn any, because I can just haul that out in the living room and not bother this little guy. I did get another remnant that I will probably use for either a pouch or a project bag. It's donuts. And I got the little zipper pulls to go with it. So my donut bag will have a donut zipper pull. Because again, coordinate. That's really it for sewing. I have started pulling fabric and patterns for spring, spring clothes for us. I have ordered some fabric, but it hasn't come in yet. Otherwise, my sewing room has had a little occupant in it, and I didn't want to bother him. Once he's better and up on his feet more, and we can safely let him out and not keep him locked up like a little prisoner, then I'll get back to my stitching, my sewing. On to garden. Now, we have not worked in the garden. Our garden is done. We went from 30 degrees to 80 degrees within a week, and so all of the spring or the winter plants we had out back bolted and produced seeds, because of course they did. The peas are still fine. The snow peas, they are still fine. They are still out there growing, and they're fine. Nice healthy green plants. Everything. Oh, and our garlic is still fine. The bulbs have sprouted. They're growing. They're fine. So those are fine. Now, what we did was we sat down and figured out a plan for the garden. What we're going to do is we are going to have, we ordered a new chicken pen, okay, and it is bigger. And so we're going to put that in the corner where the garden is now, and then we're going to build a pen for them so we don't have to free range them anymore. They can stay in the pen and they'll have plenty of space and plenty of room. And then what we're going to do then is move the garden over to where the chickens are now, because that ground has been pecked and scratched clean of everything, and it's full of chicken poop, which is fertilizer, okay? And we're going to get one of the 10-foot by 20-foot greenhouse tunnels that you can open at both ends, and we're going to put raised beds in that. That will help with the bipolar weather we get in the spring. And it will also help with cutting down on the weeds. So we have the greenhouse already. We have the raised bed, or the stuff to make the raised beds already. We're just waiting on that chicken pen, because of course we can't set up the garden until we move the chickens. So that's what we're going to be doing. Little boy, my foot has pins and needles like you wouldn't believe. I know you don't care. But anyway, so that's what we are going to be doing this spring. Probably in the next couple weeks, because I think the chicken pen is supposed to be delivered next week, like midweek sometime. Oh, did I stop petting you? I'm sorry. So that's what we've got going on in the garden. We've already ordered the seeds. We're just waiting for them to get here, which is fine, because we can't plant seeds till we have the garden, right? So that's really it. That's all we've got going on. Most of our time has been taking care of this little guy and making sure that he integrates into the family, and he knows he's loved, and he is. He's so sweet. He just purrs and purrs, and he wants all of the love and all of the attention. And we have no problem giving it to him, because we love kittens. We love puppies. We love all the animals. So, now, this week, the Flosstube channel that I wanted to mention, I guess, give a shout out to. There's a lovely woman in Canada, and her channel is the Stitching Owl. Now, she does lots and lots of ornaments, which is, of course, what caught my attention, because I've been doing ornaments lately too. And she does tons of them, and they're beautiful. They're beautiful. But she's also working on some other projects, some bigger ones. Like, she's doing a stained glass owl now that is just gorgeous. And she stitches so fast. It blows my mind. But anyway, the Stitching Owl, and I'll link her down below. She is one that, if you like smalls and ornaments and things of that nature, she is a good one. She does tons of them. And on every one of her videos, she plays piano, and she also treats everyone to some music. So, but yeah, if you're into, if you want to see some really beautiful ornaments and things of that nature, check her out, the Stitching Owl. And she's, another fairly new one. But anyway, that's all I've got going on here, other than the pins and needles that are working their way from my toes to my hip. Not that he cares. But that's all that's going on here. Hopefully next time I'll have more. I know my husband will be, working a lot, so I'll have more stitching time, and as this guy heals, he will not need as much care. All right, little boy, I know you're cozy and comfy. Oh yes, is that better? Oh, my foot says thank you so much. Oh, you get a kissy? Nope, he said that's enough of that. Okay. Oh, yeah, the pins and needles. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. You want back up here, don't you? You want back up here? You want back in my lap? Is that what it's about? Flop. He wants attention. He said, I was cozy and warm in your lap. Why'd you move? Because I'm in pain. Okay. But anyway, that's it for today. I will end now and leave you with this. What you doing, boy? A happy kitty who's found a new forever home. So, thank you for spending part of your day with me and Cheeto. And we hope to see you next time. If you saw something you like, subscribe, comment, share, all of that stuff. And I hope to see you again here in my craft room.